Right, well after a while of absence, I'm back with another review. And I'm in my new house today, as you can see. You have to excuse that there's no wallpaper on the wall because it's still being decorated. Pretty much like the rest of the houses. Anyway, let's get started. Today I'm reviewing a train pack. I just had a train on there. And it's not very often I buy these or do reviews on them, so this is good. The last train pack I had was the Coronado, which you may remember from last year when I did a two-part video of it. Today I'm reviewing the Thames 4th Express. I'm very excited. This is completely brand new. So let's get it open and see what it's like, because I'm really excited. So first, off comes the box sleeve, which is the celebratory packaging, which Hornby still use, not as much as they did though. And it's got different railway companies on it. I mean, for example, you've got the BR logo there, the double arrow, as long as it's sometimes known as. You've got LMS, GNR, Great North Eastern Railway, which is basically MNR. That I do believe is part of the early emblem. And you've got GWR here, because you've got the W there, from it. You've got loads of different railway companies on here, which is very good. It's very nice packaging. Again, it's a shame that Hornby don't use it as much now, but it's glad to still use it. So that's to one side. And now we just... Oh, that was a bit of a squeak then. We open up the box. And we just take this polystyrene tray out. And here's the standard box. And on the back we have reference number R2887M, the Thames 4th Express. It tells you that it's DCC ready and the minimum range of curves it's suitable for. And there's some information about the pack on the back. Obviously it's the matched train series, sorry. And now all we need to do is just take the joint piece of paper off. You have to excuse the tear there. Oh, I don't know how that happened, because I've only just opened this up, it's brand new. But it's just paper after all. I mean, what you do with this, it's up to you. You can throw it away in the bin, recycle it, probably use it again to put this back in storage, or just doodle on it. In fact, you could even write love letters to your girlfriend on this. And then we get to see what's in the box. So we'll start with the certificate of authentication. As you can see, it's got the Thames 4th Express on the top there. There's big LMS letters on the bottom of the certificate, which is really nice. This one is limited of 1,200 and it's number 21. And there's Simon and his signature, the guy from Hornby there. It tells you a little bit about the Thames 4th Express there. Sorry about that, I'm not the camera. And it tells you what you get with the set. You get an LMS Black 5 locomotive and 3 coaches. You get 2 LMS composite coaches and an LMS brake coach. So that's very good. I'll definitely put that in my folder of certificates. Then you get the instructions for the Class 5 or Black 5 or 5 from T, whatever you choose to call them. I have already got one of these for the Glasgow Highlander. But the instructions are the same and nobody's unfamiliar with them unless you're new to the hobby. But it's all there anyway. Okay, so now we come to the side of the box here. So first of all we have the DCC jacket. Not important. And we have the details. In there, there's a spare coupling. There's a screw in there, footsteps for the front of the loco and the brake rods. And possibly some other stuff. And you get some real instructions in there telling you how to put them on. So that's very nice. Okay. So now then, I'll come to my favourite part. And that's opening the pack up. So we'll do a wise thing. We'll start with the locomotive first, then the tender, and then the 3 coaches. Sounds like a wise idea? Okay, so there should be a hole in the back. Yep, there's some holes in the back. And so we'll just gently push her out. That sounds wrong. Wow, look how smooth this comes out. And then we'll just take this tissue paper off her and just look at it. If we just pop her down for a sec. Look at that. You know, if Hornby are going to use this stuff, they really need to make it neat. I mean, it just looks like one of your household pets has been added. But anyway, onto the locomotive, which to be honest, it's probably the best thing of this pack. Wow. Look at her. It's just so gorgeous. Where do we start? Well, for starters, there's spun metal buffers. But I apologise for that then, I was interrupted. Anyway, as I was saying, spun metal buffers on the front there. There's a coupling hook down the front, so you can possibly fit a chain link coupling on if you wanted to. There's lamp points on the front too. The detail on the smoke box is excellent. You have the number plate on there, and another lamp iron. You have handrails on it as well, and a shed plate as well. And you have the handles on as well on the smoke box. For those of you that don't know how they work, they basically turn them clockwise around like that until they stop moving, and then you just pull the smoke box out, and that's how the fireman and driver clear it out. You also have another plate down there. I don't know what it says, but you know, you have neck holders here as well, which is what they're called, riveted around the smoke box. A nice funnel. Stunning, accurate paintwork. Look at it, it's so black. And with red stripes going all the way around the boiler, the cylinders and the cab. Wow, you've got metal handrails as well, going down the side. You have a dome as well. There's a horizontal whistle as well, which is accurate, and safety valves. There's riveting around the cab too, with a vent that opens, as you can see. Excuse the giant finger. You've got glazing in the cab as well, on the windows. You have some more detailing down here with the reversing lever as well. I will not talk about it, I've already spoke about it in the Spitfire Castle Class review. There's some riveting on the cab as well, and you have the number 5026. That is really accurate numbers there, and I love the embossed on it. And you've got 5p and 5f on the underneath the windows there, and you've got the cab steps obviously on the bottom. We'll just turn it round to the side. Excuse the hand then. And the detailing is basically the same. There's nothing different on it. You do have the cab doors though to stop the driver and fireman from falling off the footplate, and you have a proper tinder connection. And look at this, ta-da! There's painted cab detailing inside her. Now this is what you would normally expect from Hornby on their premium models. Just look at the gauges and the dials and the piping and the brake lever, it's all painted. You could have a driver and fireman there if you wanted to, but I'm not gonna, because then you want to the cab detailing. And you've also got some piping from where the wheels are just there. Be very careful, they are delicate and fragile. And underneath there as well, if you just turn them upside down, that's where the brake rods go. The bogie wheel is free to flow to, and she has got a beautiful bottom. Okay, I will rephrase that. The bottom of the locomotive is beautiful. That comment isn't appropriate here, I'll save it for girls. But what I mean by the bottom of the locomotive is the wheels, just look at them. The link motion, the valve gear, it's all done so professionally. I just can't wait to see that all moving like the real thing. And of course you've got some little bit of riveting on the cylinders there as well. This is a gorgeous model. Wow. and she's very heavy as well. She's making my arm ache actually. So there's the locomotive done. I'll just pop her down to one side. So now you can get on with the tender. Again, hole in the back. And just pop your finger through. Now there won't be much to explain about the tender. Look at the paper on that. Can't be at it. Now for a tender, she's fairly weighty, not too heavy, not too light. Hang on, let's just get a brush. Okay, so I have a brush, which is very fancy. I just dust the polystyrene off. This is one of the reasons why I hate the polystyrene packaging from Hornby. Okay, so, well for a tender she's fairly weighty, as I said before, not too heavy, not too light. You may have to excuse the rubbing marks on it, I'll wash them off later. The bottom of the tender is very lovely, got some slight riveting on there, and these are the springs, for those who don't know, with tender steps as well, and a proper connector for the tender. The inside detail got handles and a small chute for the coal to go into the smoke box. There's riveting all around the tender too, with LMS written inside, very accurate lettering. And you've got a red stripe going all the way around the tender on both sides. It's got LMS on that side too. And on the back there's riveting on the buffer beam, a brake pipe, metal sprung buffers. You've got a couple of plates that say, that one by the brake pipe says 4,000 gallons, so it's a 4,000 gallon tender. And the one above there says LMS. Just look at all that riveting, and you got a coupling as well. And that's where the water goes into. And the coal is removable, so you can put real stuff in if you wanted to. But I don't do that, so I'll just leave it in. And so there's the tender. Didn't take much for me to explain about it. It's very nice. Now we move on to the coach. Right, so we'll look at the first one. And so here's the coach. Now the first thing you'll notice with these, they are railroad range coaches. They're not premium. The only difference I can tell from them is that they have metal wheels instead of plastic ones. But they're still nice and they're not entirely basic. The livery is spot on for a start. The roof detailing is very nice. We have proper glazing in too, with seats going all the way inside the coach, so you can put people in if you wanted to. You can possibly put lights in it as well if you wished. The handles on the windows are painted as well, and you've got LMS written on them as well, because they are LMS coaches. I think these are the Stanley Period 3 coaches. What you do with them though is up to you. You can possibly repaint them, weather them slightly, put gangway covers on the gangways there, people inside them, paint the seats, put lighting in them, paint the buffers maybe, or take the wheels off, make it look like it's abandoned. Or you could probably put rust patches on the roof, or put bird droppings on the roof. It's up to you. What you do with them is up to you at the end of the day. But I'll leave them as they are, because they are nice coaches. And if they were the premium ones, then I suppose the set will be a bit more expensive, because I got this set for 80 quid brand new. I don't think it'll be that much if the coaches are premium too. So now we'll have a look at the other coaches. And it's basically exactly the same as the other one you just saw. Only difference is metal wheels. And now let's get the brake coach out, which is a little bit trickier, because I don't think it wants to play. so I may have cracked it. Yep, there we go. I'll just take these little bits out. Not too sure what they are, but they're probably just rubbish. Well, the camera was out of focus there. And it's a very nice black coach. Again, it's the road range one. We have metal wheels instead of the plastic ones. Livery spot on. All the handles are painted, as you can see. Again, seats going all the way in the coach, so you can possibly paint and put people in it. LMS on there again, with numbers on the doors. And the roof is slightly different as well. These lines going on the roof, the composites didn't have. And the bottom of the coach too is very nice. And that's about it, to be honest. There's not much else to explain. So far it's a nice pack. Polystyrene there. So now we'll put it on the tracks and see what it runs like. Well, to here I am at a test track I've set up on the floor because obviously the layout has not been built yet. So I'll put the coaches on the track first, starting with the brake. Then one of the composites. There we are. Well, that's all three coaches on the track now. Now we'll put the tender on. Pull that up. And then the black 5 itself. Wow. Right, so it's all on the tracks now. Yeah. And I'm using Hornby's bog standard controller. And so let's give us some juice. Wow, look at her go. The power's only set at 12 o'clock and she's running really well. Well, what else can I say about her? This is an excellent pack. Locomotive 10 out of 10 definitely, and the coaches I'd say about 6 out of 10. They run so smoothly as well. And I like the noise of the coaches, of the wheels, when they go over some rail joints. Listen to that. Sounds like a real thing. And also, and this is just an idea, I might put this black 5 on freight as well, because there were mixed traffic. Well, for example, in videos I could have a run on the Thames Express. I could also have a run on some other passenger trains and some freight work. How about that? What do you think? Or I might just leave on the Thames Express, because it looks so nice pulling those coaches. But I'll decide in good time. You shall see here in upcoming videos. But for now, this is Class 47 Peter, signing off, and I shall see you soon.